This is Aaron here with another deck profile. Here, Lightsworn. Lightsworn depends on, of course, their main monster, Judgment Dragon. Your 3 Judgment Dragons, the boss monster. When you have 4 or more different Lightsworns with a different name in your graveyard, you can special summon this. When summoned out, you can pay 1,000 life points to blow up the entire field. 3 Lightsworn Luminous. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. Once per turn during your end phase, send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Now basically a Lightsworn deck is you're going to keep on sending cards away from your deck. So hopefully you have ways of not decking out the entire... hopefully you don't deck out, because that's what this deck does. You are milling cards away. So hopefully you have ways of not decking out. Which, yeah, there are a couple ways. So here we go with more monsters. 3 Wolves. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by a card effect. If this card is sent from the graveyard to the deck in the graveyard, special summon it. 3 Lila Lightsworn Sorceress. Actually, this is my favorite Lightsworn out of all. So you can target 1 spell trap. You can target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls. This card's battle position cannot be changed until the end of the next turn. Also change this card you control from attack position to defense position. If you do, destroy that target. Once per turn during your end phase, send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. One of the tuners, Raiden. 3 Raiden. During your main phase, you can send the top 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Then if any Lightsworn monsters were sent to the graveyard by this effect, it gains 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use this effect of Raiden once per turn. Once per turn, during your end phase, send the top 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Here's the little one. 2 Raikou. Must be set, so when flip effect, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy that target, send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Here's one Lightsworn I know everybody does not use anymore, but I use it, is the Celestia. Level 5 monster. Now, when you tribute summon this card by tributing a Lightsworn monster, you can send the top 4 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Then target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy those cards. So a tribute Lightsworn, but then it destroys. And the one-ofs, another tuner, Felice. Cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned by a card effect. If this card is sent from your deck to the graveyard by a monster effect, special summon it. You can tribute this card, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy that target, then send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Another tuner, and my last tuner, which is Minerva, which is when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 light dragon type monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the total number of Lightsworn monsters with different names in your graveyard. When this card is sent from your hand or deck to the graveyard, send the top card from the deck to the graveyard. During each of your end phases, send the top 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. 1 Jane. Jane is a warrior, 18 attack, so if this card attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 300 attack during the damage step only. During each of your end phases, send the top 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. The 1 Garroth. Each time a card or cards is sent from your deck to the deck to the graveyard by the effect of a Lightsworn monster you control, except Garroth, send the top 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Then draw 1 card for each Lightsworn monster sent to the graveyard by this effect. And the 1 Aaron. Before damage calculation, when this card attacks a defense position monster, shuffle that monster back into the deck. During each of your end phases, send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. You must control this face-up card to activate and to resolve this effect. Those are Lightsworns. Others is, of course, a light ray Diablos. Cannot be normal summon or set. You must first special summon from your hand by having 5 or more light monsters with different names in your graveyard. Once per turn, you can banish 1 light monster from your graveyard to target 1 set card your opponent controls. Reveal that target. Then return that target to either the top or bottom of the deck. Now, particularly, I would not use that effect. I would just special summon this when you have 4 different lights. Almost like Judgment Dragon, except Judgment Dragon, you 4 different names of a Lightsworn. Light Ray Diablos, you just need 5 or more light monsters from different names. To honest, this did go to 3, but I only use 2. Of course, during your main phase, you can return this card from your field to its owner's hand. During either player's damage step, when a face-up light monster you control battles, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to have that monster gain attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster it is battling until the end phase. So your savior, if you're going against high attacking monsters and you're about to be killed, play Honest from your hands and you just saved yourself. One Trick Clown. So when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target this monster from your graveyard and special summon it. Its attack and defense becomes 0. You take 1,000 points of damage if you're going to do this effect, and you can only do this once per turn. So only when it's about to be sent to the graveyard, you can pay 1,000 if you want to special summon this. One Dawn Knight. Dawn Knight. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 light monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent from your deck to the graveyard, target 1 light monster in your graveyard. Place that target to the top of your deck. You can only use this Dawn Knight effect once per turn, and only once that turn. So pretty much that's Dawn Knight. And last but not least, for my monsters, 3 Necro Gardeners. Necro Gardener, I've seen a lot played before when Lightsworns are played, but I don't see that many using this card anymore, but I still use it. Remove from play this card from your graveyard to negate 1 attack this turn from a monster your opponent controls. Necro Gardeners, so good. I don't know why people don't use this anymore, but Necro Gardeners. Monsters, we'll go to magics now. When using Lightsworns, you're gonna need the 3 solar recharges. Discard one Lightsworn monster, draw 2 cards, then send the top 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. And then, of course, another staple for Lightsworns, 3 Charger Library Gates. Send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Add 1 level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster from your deck to your hand. I use these, but I don't know if anybody else uses these for Lightsworns, but Monster Incarnations. Discard 1 card, then target 1 monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Pretty much your card if you lost your Judgment Dragon and you need it, and it's in the graveyard. Monster Incarnation, throw away one of your, let's just say you have 3 Lightsworns, but you have a 4th of a different name in your hand. Well then, there you go. Get your Judgment Dragon, throw away your 4th one, and you have 4 different ones of a different name. Special summon Judgment Dragon. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. Add 1 level 4 or warrior type monster from your hand, from your deck to your hand. Pretty much your warriors you have is Raiden, Aaron, Dawn Knight, Garath, and Jane. So not that bad. You have a lot of searches you can do, but most of the time you're just gonna want to search for your rating, because that's considered the best one. And Foolish Burial. You can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's almost like already if you want to have a monster out, summon out the wolf, special summon the wolf by a card effect. You need, you want to throw away Necrogarnet to have a spot already if you're going to negate an attack. You want to throw away maybe a 4th Lightsworn you need because you have Judgment Dragon. Do that too. And for the traps, it's just 3 Beckoning Lights. Beckoning Light is discard all cards from your hand to your graveyard. Then add the same number of light monsters from your graveyard to your hand. Basically your savior right there of, you need your Honest back, you need, of course, the Judgment Dragons. Basically anything you need. So 45 cards, and this is almost like a turbo way to me. So okay, now for the extra deck, most likely a staple also, 2 Minerva, 2 level 4 monsters. Of course, yes, you can detach 1 material from this card, send the top 3 cards from your deck, then draw cards equals to the number of Lightsworn monsters, Lightsworn cards sent to the graveyard by this effect. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can destroy cards on the field up to the number of Lightsworn monsters sent to the graveyard by this effect. You can only use each of the effect of Minerva once per turn. Now basically I would just use the effect of, you're gonna throw away 3, and hopefully if you get any Lightsworns, draw that many. On Castel. Castel is 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach 1 material from the graveyard, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. Change it to face down defense position. Or you can detach both materials, then target 1 other face-up card on the field. Shuffle it into the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. So you either want to send away a card, or you want to put a card face down. I don't use this a lot, but it's not that bad to have. Bujin the Tiski Yomi, I think that's what it's called. 2 level 4 light monsters. Now, once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Send your entire hand to the graveyard. Minimum of 1. And if you do, draw 2 cards. When this card you controlled while face up leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 level 4 Beast Warrior. Well, of course, yeah, this is for a Bujin deck, but most likely you're just gonna want to use the effect of, you can detach 1 material, send your entire hand to the graveyard, minimum by 1 card, and if you do, draw 2 cards. So the second effect is just by if you can use a Bujin deck, but basically this is just a good one to have for sending away cards from your hand and drawing 2 cards. And of course, yeah, you only have 1 target particularly, but it's not that bad to have, is your Minerva, but because it's a tuner, 3-star tuner, you're gonna need a Black Rose Dragon, blow up the entire field. Or my mistake also, with your Lumina and Raiden, that makes a 7 also. Another is, of course, Lightsworn tuner, Michael. Pretty much a staple for a Lightsworn. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, then target 1 card on the field, banish that card. When this card is destroyed, you can target any of the number of other Lightsworns in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, you gain 300 life points for each return card. During each of the end phase, send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. And if you're lucky, here's my only one link monster, Deco Talker. Deco Talker 2, you need a link 3. It's a link 3, so you need 3 monsters, but at least 2 have to be effect monsters. Gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or cards you control, you can target 1 monster. This card points to negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. So that was the deck. Now let's go with some of the combos. Wolf, Lumina, Judgment Dragon. You have Lila in the graveyard. Solar Recharge. And let's just say your 5th card was... okay, Honest. Now, your draw was... let's just say Garath. That's your draw. So, Lila's in your graveyard. These are the 6 cards in your hand. Now, you have your Judgment Dragon. So basically, you have your shot right there of if you can have more different names of Lightsworn. Basically, you need 3 more because you have Lila. Now, okay, Wolf you do not want in your hand. So you might as well go Solar Recharge. Throw away the Wolf. Now you have 2 targets. Let's just say your draw was a Beckoning Light and a Necro Gardener. Now the 2 that you send away, well, let's just say a Necro Gardener, another one you just threw away, and you threw away a Minerva. Okay, so in your graveyard, you have Lila, Wolf, Necro Gardener, and Minerva. That's 3 already. Now, okay, you haven't even normal summoned yet. So these are your 6 cards right here. You still have your Lumina, Judgment Dragon, Honest, Garath, Beckoning Light, and Necro Gardener. Now, okay, what you could do is Lumina, throw away a card. So might as well go Garath or Necro Gardener just to have another. So particularly I would go with Garath. Special summon rather either. So you can go back to Garath, you can go to Minerva, Wolf, or Lila. So either of these targets can be special summoned. So, well, for me, I would just choose Lila. Lila because particularly, let's just say your opponent has backfield, but they haven't done anything to your Lightsworns because possibly it's going to be something you're gonna don't want to they're not going to want to play on you yet, or they are going to play on you, but you haven't even, because it's possibly a Mirror Force or anything if you attack. So Lila's effect, you're going to want to switch it to defense mode and pop a magic or trap that they have. So you have Lumina, Lila on the field. You switch Lila to defense mode because you did the effect of popping a magic or trap. So basically that was only 1 magic or trap they had, so you could still attack with Lumina. Now, okay, it's gonna be your main phase 2. You still have your turn. You can set Beckoning Light. You still have your Honest, Judgment Dragon, Necro Gardener. Now, okay, the effect of your end phase, you have to send away 3 cards because of Lumina and 3 cards because of Lila. So let's just say your 3 cards were maybe out of Lumina was the Trick Clown, a wolf, a judgment dragon. So these were the cards thrown away for Lumina. And your 3 cards for Lila was Raiden, another Beckoning Light, and let's just say you lost a Solar Recharge. So these were your 3 cards for Lila. These are your 3 cards from Lila. Now here's the thing. Okay, when Wolf is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, Wolf would be special summoned. So you have these 3 cards out, and your Beckoning is still face down. Let's just say you wanted to save your back row because of Honest. Okay, your backfield is pretty much Beckoning Light. When you're going against a monster and they're gonna attack, okay, let's just say they wanted to attack Lila because it's your defense, let it go through. Unless hopefully it's not a monster where it can pierce through and then you're possibly gonna take a whole bunch of damage. Now if it's Lumina or Wolf and they're gonna attack with the high monster, go Honest, save your monster, but your opponent takes the damage. Their monster is going to be destroyed because of Honest's effect. Okay, there you go. Now, okay, Judgment Necro Gardener is in your hand, so your next draw would be possibly, let's just say, Felice was your draw. So you have these 2 out in your Beckoning. What you could do is of course Lumina, ditch out your Archer, or you can go Necro Gardener, throw away either of these 2, special summon out another Lightsworn, which could rather be Garath or whatever. Now here's a couple plays you can do. If you did that effect, okay, maybe the best one you want to do is Raiden, because Raiden's effect you're going to want to throw away another 2 cards. Now here's another thing you can do. So that's one play. Send away 2 cards for Raiden. You can Synchro. So maybe you want to go Michael. So Michael put in where now the link format of how the link format is. So you can make Michael. Or send away the 3. Go Deco Talker. Also what you can do, exceed it to go into Minerva. Those are plays you can do. So you can have these 3 out, do those effects, and okay, let's just say still, where was it? Your Necro Gardener and Judgment Dragon. So you have these 3 out. You can do those effects, and then okay, Judgment Dragon, Necro Gardener. But if you do Beckoning Light, you can keep your Judgment Dragon, throw your Necro Gardener, get any light that you want that's in the graveyard. So maybe you want to go with your other Judgment Dragon. Now, okay, let's see the numbers right here. You have Lila, Archer, Gareth, Minerva. You have 4 different names right there in your graveyard. So you have your 2 Judgment Dragons. So one thing you can do is, yes, still do any of these effects to have another monster and your 2 Judgment Dragons on the field. So most likely sometimes I would just go send away the 3, go Deco Talker. So Deco Talker, maybe you want to go Judgment Dragon to play it on what it's points to, and maybe another one. So you have your 3000 attack, 3000 attack, and Deco Talker, since it has 1 and 2, 25, 28, and then 32. And you have a huge 3 monsters right there. So that's one. Now let's go with, maybe you have Celestia. So if you just had something simple like this, like Foolish, Celestia. Let's just say, okay, just these 2. A little combo with Celestia. Foolish. Send away your wolf. Special summon your wolf. Tribute the wolf. Go Celestia. Pop 2 cards on the field. Send 4 cards. That's what I like about Celestia. Nobody runs this anymore. I don't see anybody running it anymore for Lightsworns. But it's a fun little Lightsworn use. Five or more. Special summon it. So sometimes you could be lucky and go Judgment Dragon. Maybe you want to blow up the entire field first. You have 5 or more different names. Special summon Light Ray Diablos. And Light Ray Diablos is a light monster. So basically also if it was in the graveyard, you can go Beckoning Light for it. Now, Dawn Knight. This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You can send 1 light monster from your deck from the field. Now basically it's your helper to throw to get your Judgment Dragon or whichever light monster you need and put it back to the top of the deck. So particularly when you draw, you already know you're going to get your Judgment Dragon or any card you possibly needed that was in the graveyard. It's in your next turn, your draw, you already know what's going to be. Charge the Light Brigade. You can search for any of the Lightsworns except Celestia. So any 3 you intend to discard, you can search for any. So you can go for your Raiden, Lumina, Raiko, Jane, Aaron, and then with Garath, let me get Garath. Okay, Garath. The effect of him. Each time one is on the field. So basically, if you have Garath on the field, and you have, let's just say, Lumina, you're gonna send away Lumina's. Okay, so you're gonna go Lumina's effect, send away 3. Garath, send away 2. If any of them were Lightsworn monsters, draw a card. Not that bad also. So yeah, the whole entire deck is nothing but you're gonna mill your entire deck. But hopefully you have ways of, yes, of course, the beckoning lights. And hopefully you can have ways of just automatically you're gonna have a way of winning the duel, winning the match. Your monster incarnations intend to help you. But yeah, sometimes it's pretty risky to do because you might discard your entire deck and you deck out. But monster incarnations help. The beckoning lights help. Because yes, if you lost your Judgment Dragon or a powerful, you lost your Judgment Dragons, you lost your Honest, you lost your Light Ray Diablos, or a tuner you need, or a monster you need, get them back. So hopefully you have your way of getting back of getting what you needed that was in the graveyard to your hand. So this is my Lightsworn deck. Hope you all enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. I will show you more deck profiles later. Peace.